Yeah, so long as it gives the subscriber the convenience and the comfort and doesn't create another inconvenience. The issue is that you are trying to give the people the opportunity to verify themselves against your platform. And of course, you have issues with that. Are you going to run the software on a feature phone or a smartphone, a combination of those two different technologies? So for me, when it comes to the SIM registration, we have two things: verification and authentication. Now, government, you are supposed to have the database of all people who are supposed to be Ghanaians in a database. And then there was also a registration which supposed to have been done, I think, 2 or 3 years ago, you know. So you have the database. What you need to do is make sure you verify the data that Maximus has provided, the data that Kojo has provided to see if it's really Maximus or Kojo. Then the next level is authentication, making sure it's really Kojo or it's really Maximus. So that's why you let the database communicate with other data sets. So my passport, my driver's license, my bank account and all that. So for me, if those designs are considered, then it should be fine. But if not, we just go through the same process of, people trying to authenticate their own identity when government should be doing that. If I enter, if for example, when we're registering the Ghana card, I entered my name, date of birth, and all that with my phone numbers. Now you told me to use my numbers to register my numbers to verify my identity again. That was the re-registration that we did. Now you are coming back again to tell us, okay, we are going to design a technology that will help you verify and authenticate your identity again as a Ghanaian. For me, as a telecom service user, government is just wasting my time and giving me a lot of inconvenience when this thing could have been done long ago and should have been suggested long ago, and we will not go through that same process. And Kojo, if I even find a SIM card on the floor or somebody steals somebody's SIM card, they can use it for the same fraud that we are trying to cure. That issue hasn't been dealt with. How do we cure fraud using SIM card? It's not going to be 100%. I'm not sure it's going to be 60%, because the fraudsters, what they do now, there's a prevalence of WhatsApp scam going on where people use WhatsApp numbers to communicate with other people's contacts to solicit for funds for them as if they were the ones doing it. And then they'll give you a SIM card, a phone number that is registered with somebody's name that you terminate the payment on, and then the telcos they will tell you it terminates on an app. If you terminate on an app, you can't find the person whose name is on the ID card. Then how do you fight the fraud? So there's a whole lot of process to go through trying to fight fraud than just verifying and re-registering Ghanaians all over again and going through the whole process. You have the database of people with ID cards. You have the database of people who have been registered previously. So run it through a system and do your verification just like the way other platforms do. If I send my data to Facebook for verification, they do all the authentication and all that to make sure I'm really Maximus and the information I provided is valid, and they give me a tick on my account. So why should I go through a process all over again?
Right. So it sounds to me like you're suggesting that the process is unnecessary.
Yes, it's unnecessary, because if you have my database and you can authenticate and verify my database, you already have it. So just the other citizens who have not been verified, I'm sure the telcos can give you an idea as to the numbers that have not been verified, and government should have that database. So you do the verification of those people, for authentication of those people. That is all you need to do. But trying to go through the whole process again, and then from what Salam said, I have to use my phone to take a face ID, and it goes through the same system again. Does it also have a real-time verification to tell me whether the picture I'm sending through my account is the same Maximus that the system can authenticate and verify. So it's difficult to believe that. It's difficult to even wrap your mind around how the technology is going to work. When we took pictures of our fingertips, and the thing generated fingerprints into the system. You already have all this raw data that you can use the software to run the whole thing, clean up the system, and then there we go. We don't need to go do any re-registration, either using a software, a short code, and I don't know how you run it using USSD. If I'm in a village somewhere without internet connection, and then without a smartphone, how do I authenticate or verify my data? So they should explain the technology better, then some of us can appreciate it.